Welcome to the Conscious Living Podcast, conversations to educate, empower, and enlighten our world. An uplifting and inspiring series of conversations and talks with your host, Jackie Woodside. We are educating minds, empowering lives, and enlightening souls to create a world where love prevails. In this engaging podcast, we deliver exciting, positive, transformative talks and teachings designed to elevate your life. Now, let's join our host, Jackie Woodside, for this week's session.
Hello there, Jackie Woodside here, founder and the host of the Conscious Living Podcast, Strategies to Live More Consciously with Time, Money, and Life Itself. Thank you so much for being here with us, being one of the people that cares deeply about living life consciously. It's probably the most important thing to me. Being awake and aware, being present to this gift of life every single day, finding things to celebrate and be grateful for, being conscious of how I'm using my awareness, where am I putting my focus, how am I interpreting and perceiving what's happening around me. And it's a complex thing to be conscious. It's a complex thing to live life consciously. What it takes is a combination of a fairly healthy psychology and a well-trained neurology. And if you've listened to my show enough, you know that I go into both of those topics a lot. So today I'm really excited to kind of lean into the psychology side. I'm bringing to the show Aaron Surtees, who is a celebrity really in the UK, a celebrity hypnotherapist in the UK. Aaron is the most recommended hypnotherapist in all of England. He's been on a number of different TV shows across the UK. He has an award-winning practice based on in central London. And one of the most exciting things that I found just so cool, I love innovative people, is Aaron created a hypnosis app called Subconsciously. So he is a well-known, well-experienced, and successful practitioner in the field of hypnotherapy. So that's what we're going to dive into today. So Aaron, that's just a little bit about you. What do you want to say so our listeners can get to know you a little bit more and flesh out a little bit more about your background?
Yeah, well, I guess I started quite young with sort of self-help and mental sort of transformation work because at school called St. James that I went to, we meditated around about from age 10 till about 16, 17, twice a day, 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes at the end of the day. So meditation and closing the eyes and just resetting, almost, it started me young, basically, towards my career in hypnotherapy, really, and then moving it on to psychology and sociology at university, and then opening up my practice in my mid-20s.
Oh, wow, you were young.
Yeah, it's been just over 20 years now.
Nice, nice. Wow, congratulations. My son went to a private school also for it was a school specialized for kids with ADHD and language-based learning disabilities. And I hounded the headmaster for all 4 years that he was in high school there to bring in a meditation practice. I mean, for kids with ADHD, it is so critical that they learn actually and are taught that they can change their state. They can change their state by using their mind. Well, I never did succeed in those 4 years, but my son and my spouse and we did get trained in transcendental meditation. So he at least has had that exposure, and we spent a couple of years actually getting up in the morning and meditating before he went off to school. He's a college student now, so I don't know that I can show up in his dorm and make sure he's doing his morning meditation, but so I'm glad that there was a high school that was teaching meditation at such a young age. That's great. So Aaron, let's just dive in a little bit. Tell us about hypnotherapy and what does it do? Why is it an effective form of treatment, and what kinds of things do you treat with it?
Yeah, it just works very quickly, typically, and in a sort of lasting way. But it works very quickly for sort of all ranges of issues, from addictions to anxieties and phobias. to just bad relationships with food, drinking, it could be vaping or smoking. Um, there's almost nothing that it can't help with stems from a mental issue that is causing a problem, whether it's a negative loop or getting yourself into a rut or getting yourself into a cycle that you can't quite get out of, even just from procrastinating.
Yep.
Very common thing that I help
Yeah.
city professionals with as well here in my practice in London. So it's an A to Z, massive variety things that it helps with very quickly by putting these positive hypnotic suggestions into people's into the brain, rewiring a more healthy, more positive mindset mentally. So it works very quickly and straight to the point in that sense. So if there was an analogy of let's say surgery or something like that, it would be about dealing directly with the issue and then helping it repair and change.
Wow, that is really wild. So, say if someone, has a problem with alcohol, how many times might you need to treat someone so that they don't end up going back to that, sometimes social habit, sometimes stress management habit, sometimes just physical addiction to alcohol? How do how often do you have to treat someone?
Usually, for most treatments, is about 4 sessions.
Okay.
So there's a much more of a severe alcohol issue. Like a lady I saw recently, I saw her every day for about a week or two. Where usually I space it out over a week, but she was drinking sort of or had been drinking about 3 bottles of wine a day. So she was waking up and sipping it through the day and hiding it. But yeah, she's had 2 weeks now. Well, it's been more than that. It's a couple of weeks more than that. So she's about a month dry now.
No. Now, will she come back in for tune-ups, if you will?
Yeah, I've also sent her some recordings, and
Okay.
including she's also got access to the my app subconsciously, so which has a stop drinking recording on there. So those top ups are very effective, as well as just being effective on their own and standalone treatments. And I may see her again in person, but I'll keep in touch with her. But yeah, very happy with it, and so is her partner because she was really suffering health wise, brain hemorrhages. She had 2 brain hemorrhages, very fatty cirrhosis, basically,
Yeah.
pretty much just on the cirrhosis level, um, and a stroke as well. She had had all alcohol related,
Oh, wow.
ready to die. She was literally, we were putting that into the hypnotic suggestions that she, uh, you know, was treating alcohol like she was seeing it as poison. We got her to reframe it and see it as something she's not interested in at all. So she's actually quite enjoying apple juice at the moment.
Okay. Yeah, I was wondering about just the the neural pathways that we get for behaviors that we have. Like we have a morning routine of the things that we do, or we have our ability to drive someplace that we've gone many times before. You can do it unconsciously. A routine when you get home from work, the things that you do. So we have behavioral patterns that get neurologically programmed in our brain. And that's sometimes hard to break. I've worked with male sex addicts, men who are addicted. Yeah, it was all men who are addicted to sex. And one of the things I had to interrupt was their coming home from work routine, because that was always a vulnerable time. They were tired and whatnot, and would want to immediately go to internet pornography, immediately go to the computer. So we had to like create a new behavioral pathway. So talk to me about that. I'm imagining this woman who, as you said, was sipping throughout the day. So she's still doing the sipping, but she's sipping apple juice instead?
Yeah, exactly. And she feels very comfortable with the apple juice. So she came to the sessions with her bottle. Um, and yeah, the last session, there was a lovely thank you card. and some chocolate as well. So it was like she said, it was not going to be a bottle of wine. So
Yes, right,
chocolate
right.
and can't.
That's really
Yeah,
sweet.
yeah, it worked very, very well with her. Going from such toxins and poisons in the system.
Yeah, yeah.
um, I was considering whether to help her taper off initially, just because of the amount of alcohol in there. But we worked it out safely, and it was fine. Yeah, she's been trying now for some time. So yeah, very good reprogramming.
Yeah,
Again, it's
yeah.
the power of hypnotherapy, and that you don't need to take a pill for it. Like
Yeah.
very.
Can you also treat depression, like some of the underlying conditions that might lead someone toward addiction?
Yeah, definitely. And just reframing, reprogramming, helping dealing with anxiety if that's prompting the depression, or whether it's a specific traumatic event that's troubling them, or if it's more generalized, increasing the mood and the thought patterns is something that therapy is
Yeah.
very effective at.
Nice. Aaron, so I was a psychotherapist for 30 years. I told you that as we were preparing for the show today. And learned a lot of different treatment modalities, but never learned hypnotherapy. Just I didn't come across it, wasn't exposed to it. I'm very curious about it. One of the more common treatment approaches today is cognitive behavioral therapy. A lot of people are using CBT, and it's very effective. What's the difference between hypnosis and CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, and how they impact the brain or the subconscious?
And so with CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, it's more consciously sort of thinking about the issue, the problem. So whether it's dealing with a phobia, um, the CBT practitioner will ask you to think differently about it, where hypnosis and hypnotherapy helps you not have to think at all about it. It
Mm.
just subconsciously rewires, and it's in there without actually having to do work as such. It's in the brain from the suggestions that I or any hypnotherapist give. Then I'm going to feel calm. I'm going to feel in control. If I see a spider, um, spiders no longer are a threat to me, and I no longer fear the fear. That sort of voice becomes the new habit. So it's quite different from CBT
Oh,
in that sense.
so you're giving suggestions to a person under hypnosis. Is that
Yeah,
is that accurate?
yeah, exactly. And they don't have to be to a particular level of deepness, because people wonder how susceptible they'll be. Um, but the particular level you get to doesn't equate directly to the results. So I've helped people who haven't relaxed much at all onto have relaxed deeply, and both got the same results.
Wow. Yeah, so can you get somebody to, like, stand up and act like a monkey even though they don't, you see these hypnosis shows where people do all kinds of uh
Yeah.
really wild and crazy things, and they don't even know that they've done it. Like, well, so what's the difference between that and what you're doing for psychotherapy?
Yeah, that's more sort of showmanship.
Yeah, yeah.
Been taught those sort of rapid sort of techniques, but they know what they're doing on stage, and they know that they're going to be doing something funny. So the ones who are happy to stay there and not be pushed back to the audience are there to really sort of just follow silly instructions in that sense.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. Now,
yeah,
is it the same like technical process though in the brain that would have, the showmanship versus the treatment? Is it the same technical process?
no, because it's more sort of fueled by expectation of entertainment, and the lights, the music, the camera.
Okay, that plays into
That
the
plays,
hypnosis itself.
yeah, often alcohol as well in those
Yeah,
shows. So,
yeah,
so
yeah.
it's very, very different from the therapeutic use of hypnosis. There, it's more yeah, it's what the person up on the stage is doing. More like a magic show.
It is a little bit more. It's definitely a show, and it is a little bit more like a magic show where you're sitting there thinking like, how do they do that? How do they make that person
Exactly.
do that? Yeah, yeah. No, it is entertaining for sure. It is
Yeah.
entertaining for sure.
Exactly. It can showcase, in some senses, the power of hypnosis and suggestion.
Yeah, right, right. So, tell me about that a little bit. How does the power of suggestion work to rewire the subconscious mind? And just a follow-on question of that, is it rewiring the subconscious? Like, is that actually what's happening?
Yeah, just the neuro pathways. For example, the ones that make me want to pick up a cigarette, or pick up that wine when you shouldn't be
Or
picking.
stay in bed when you know you should get up for
Yeah,
for a
getting
person
up.
with depression?
Yeah, exactly. It just rewires that to a new mindset of I don't need this. I don't need that.
Oh,
Smoker. Um, I don't miss drinking. I don't need it. I don't want it. I'm happier, healthier,
yeah,
uh, free of alcohol. So
yeah.
the suggestions they create these new neuro pathways in our
Right.
brains.
I love that. Now, we're talking kind of about clinical application, but before we got on the show, as we were chatting, you also talked about using it for like eliminating procrastination or helping someone feel more confident or helping with greater levels of success. So, talk about that aspect of it versus maybe the more therapeutic application or psychotherapeutic application.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, because obviously I help a lot of people, sort of CEOs and high level,
Yeah, yeah. Celebrities, right? You've treated celebrities in England.
yeah, celebrities, and and it can not only help with dealing with problems, but also enhancing life. So boosting, focus, discipline, getting rid of imposter syndrome,
Okay.
rid of
Oh,
procrastination,
yeah.
and just sort of clicking in a new mindset of I can, even with public speaking, it can help sort of deal with the phobia of it and the fear of the fear, but it can also help, sort of ultimate confidence on stage, and using that adrenaline even more effectively, using hypnotic visuals and hypnotic anchors and affirmations. So it's a very broadly, you can apply it to so many different areas of mental health and enhancing of life, really.
Yeah. Aaron, I'm not aware that you can get a degree in hypnotherapy. I know you can get certified as a hypnotherapist, but you can get a PhD in clinical psychology or clinical neuroscience and treat people. Can you get a clinical degree in hypnotherapy?
Not in the UK, I don't believe. It's getting closer to it being more of a degree type situation. It'll be more in sort of psychology units, but it's fast growing. In America, it's there's a lot of research. It's even more sort of heavily regulated there, and there's a lot of medical journals. But it's generally this word is spreading.
Yeah.
People like Spiegel. He's got a new hypnosis app out
Oh,
as well. Um,
nice. And you have a hypnosis app, Aaron. Talk about that a little bit. Tell us what your hypnosis app is and what it does.
Yeah, so it does mirror a lot of my one-to-one sessions. So there are lots of different treatments that people can go on the app and just hear me. My sessions, my voice. They can choose their favorite inductions, their ambient music. And I created it during lockdown, really, when mental health was going through the roof.
Yeah.
Also, we didn't know when we could get out to actually work, so it's around kind of 21, 22. And then it's just steadily built from there. And I'm looking to really sort of scale it up. So it becomes my aim is for it to become a household name, like Headspace is for meditation. I want therapy to be known about, because it does not only what meditation does, but it actually makes you more relaxed. And it also helps with specific issues which meditation uh, doesn't,
Yeah.
it actually helps you with treatments as well as helping you feel more relaxed generally than meditation.
So interesting. Yeah.
Well,
And it's called Subconsciously, right?
yeah, it's called Subconsciously, the same name as my book, which I launched that about 2 or 3 months ago now. So that's called.
Oh, wow. Well, I didn't know. I knew you had a book out. I didn't know it was so new. So tell us a little bit about the book.
Yeah, the book. I just knuckled down and thought, let me get this done, and I got so many interesting case studies. I can only get about, well, less than 5%, really, way less. So there'll probably be another book coming out, but
Yeah.
some of the pretty interesting stories about and how it can help, from OCD issues to addiction issues with sort of stories that just show that anyone can have these issues. Absolutely anybody, celebrities, irrelevant of how rich you are, how poor you are, race, color, creed. It's
Yeah, it's the brain, right? So everybody has a brain and everyone has psychology. So yeah, no matter how rich or notorious, well-known, successful you are, we are all here. I say spiritual beings having a human experience, but heavy on the human experience.
yeah, exactly. Just sort of show the science behind hypnotherapy as well, and sort of people worried about, will it work, will it not work? Will you control my mind? Is it the same as on the stage? And I wanted to show the reality of it. I often use a brain bits, brainwave technology,
Yeah.
which I think will become similar to like the Fitbits on the wrist.
Oh, wow, nice.
I think a lot of us will end up using that.
Wait, how
Just
do you use them and where do you get them? What's it called? This is interesting to me.
Yeah, the one I've got is called a brain bit.
Brain bit. Okay.
Yeah, I've got it just there. It's literally just almost like a sweatband,
Okay.
but it's got nodes that connect all around the head. So it's very comfortable. And via an app, the phone or their laptop, I can see the brain waves. So as soon as they close their eyes, the theta and the delta waves and the alpha waves are already starting to change. And
Wow.
I can talk about certain things, heaviness of the arms, or going to a special place, asking them to start exploring that safe space. And then again, I can see how the brain waves are changing, so I can adapt my therapy according to what I'm seeing.
Oh.
That's part of my Surtees method, with a slightly unique method of uh, of adding that in there. So it's backed by a lot of science and neuroscience there.
That's fantastic. Now, the book and the app, are they both available in the US as well? I know you're in the
Yep.
EU.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
absolutely. Yeah.
Great, great, great. So we're talking a lot about this, and I know I'm super curious. I'm sure our listeners are as well. I'm wondering if we could do a brief demo, if I can be your lab rat, so we can actually have the experience of hypnotherapy rather than just talk about the experience of hypnotherapy.
Sure thing. Yeah, absolutely.
And do you work with people on Zoom, or is it just in your office?
No, a lot on video. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Okay.
help a lot of people, and it tends to work as effectively as in person because they only need a comfortable place to lay down or sit back, and some earphones. Just like that's why the app is effective, because that's all you need. You just need some time, just a bit of time.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. All right. Well, I mean, would you be willing to do a demo with me?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, you guide me and just tell me what I need to do, and our listeners can ride along. Maybe our listeners could do it with me.
Absolutely. We could perhaps focus on something like unlocking potential, or sort of breaking down barriers something like that,
Yeah,
perhaps?
Aaron, I'm super, super blessed. I don't currently have addiction. I say I have recovered, by the grace of God. I've recovered from addiction. I know in the 12 steps they say I am an addict, but I say I am recovered by the grace of God, each and every day. So I don't have current addictions that I'm dealing with. I'm not depressed any longer, although I was, another thing I recovered from. But yeah, like everybody, I would love to have a richer, fuller, I'd like to reach millions more people with my message. So yeah, like a breakthrough kind of a hypnosis, perhaps.
Excellent, excellent. Yeah, and anyone watching or listening could join in for sure, as long as you're not sort of concentrating on anything.
Yes, don't do this while you're driving.
Yeah. When you're ready, yeah, just let your eyes close down and just take a nice couple of deep breaths. Yeah, this will just last for a few minutes, so it won't be very long. Take a nice couple of deep breaths, just inhaling that relaxation, just exhaling tension. You can imagine a balloon just underneath the belly button, where as you inhale, you can imagine white particles of relaxing energy. Inhaling that relaxation and exhaling tension. And your minds now just go to a place that you know well, a place that you feel safe, comfortable. Notice the colors around you there in that place. Notice if it's daytime or nighttime. Notice the objects around you. Visuals don't have to be very precise. Pick up an object and notice the weight of it and how it feels now. Somewhere in between. Just picture now an old-fashioned blackboard in front of you. A blackboard, you got a piece of chalk. Draw the number 10. And then wipe it away now. Now write the word sleep on the top right-hand corner. CEDS. L. E-E-P. Notice the size, shape, and formation of the letters there. And then wipe it away. As you wipe it away, you sink deeper and deeper, heavier and heavier. Like starting to really feel as heavy as lead. So comfortable. And in the same way that you've got eyes that see the world around you, you've also got an inner eye we call the mind's eye, or the third eye. Just like the physical eye, it has an eyelid, and that eyelid can close down. As it slowly drops, it shuts out stray thoughts and unwanted images. You can leave your mind perfectly clear. It's closing more and more. That relaxing energy is also spreading head to toe. down the arms, right across to the fingertips. You may feel some tingling across the fingertips as the energy reaches them. Down the legs, also into the feet and toes. Feeling so comfortable, safe, secure, totally in control and comfortable. And there is just a new focus on unlocking any barriers to success in your life. A new mindset of allowing greater and greater levels of success into your life. Unlocking and unblocking. Allowing it in with that confidence that you deserve it, that you are worthy of it, that you are valued and value yourself. And you attract and allow in this greater and greater level of success. You allow your business and your work life to take off even more. You allow it and you nurture it. And you're able to visualize now just how that looks, whether it's numbers, money, whether it's the feedback from others, all of that and more. You're able now to really multiply it. Open, unblocked, unlimited, and allowing more and more success into your life. Letting it flow with that full confidence that you deserve it, that you are worthy of it, you are valued, and that you really enjoy now allowing it into your life on a more and more powerful level. Energy, success, bigger and bigger, stronger and stronger, welcoming it, and reminding yourself also, as you press together your thumb and middle finger, I allow great success to multiply in my life. I allow great success to multiply in my life. I deserve it. I welcome it with gratitude. I deserve it. I welcome it with gratitude. I'm going to be counting up to 5 in a moment. 5, allow the eyes to open and just allowing these suggestions to start taking powerful effect over the coming days. 1, lighter and lighter. 2, 3, energy returning. 4 and 5. Good. Just letting the eyes open in their own time. Yeah, very relaxing, isn't it?
Lovely. I can't wait to get your app.
Yeah, there's a lot of good recordings that you can just listen to before bed
Yeah.
or any time.
Aaron, your voice is so interesting. You know, it has, for people who are just living and listening on audio, it has a quality of kind of older gentleman to it. And yet you're this young, handsome, vivacious man. And so because I am looking at you here on Zoom and the disconnect between this, this voice. I actually didn't have that feeling or thought when I was looking at you, but when I had my eyes closed and I was listening to you, I had this notion of kind of listening to this older, wise, saged man. Have other people told you that before about your voice?
Yeah, they have actually. Yeah,
Yeah.
my dad calls me mind wizard.
The mind wizard. Yeah, yeah.
So sage as well.
Yeah, Sage. You might incorporate that into your brand. Absolutely lovely. I look forward to the outcomes of this brief session for myself and I want to affirm for everyone listening who's done that hypnosis session with Aaron while he was working with me. I just want to affirm for everyone that your subconscious is now newly programmed for a higher level of success and enjoyment of life, a depth of meaning and reaching your goals and touching more people. One of my commitments is creating a world where love prevails, where everyone is included and no one is left out, where everyone is expressed at their highest level. So I know anyone who listens to this podcast cares a lot about those things. And I'm just going to affirm now that we've all had an elevation of that possibility and that truth in our lives through the work of Aaron Surtees. Aaron, it's so great to be with you. Your website is City Hypnosis, right? cityhypnosis.com.
Yeah, cityhypnosis.com or subconsciously.com as well.
Or subconsciously.com for the app.
Yeah, and I'm happy to take any questions from anyone if they have any, etc.
It's really, really lovely. I'm so grateful for our time together. Thank you for your willingness to be a guest and to do a demo and to share with people on our podcast. It's been great to work with you.
Yeah, pleasure. Great to work with you too.